Hi everyone, and welcome to Management 3020 Organizational Behavior. I'm really glad you're here and I'm excited to get started with this semester. This short video is meant to orient you to me, how I think about teaching and learning, what organizational behavior is about, and how this course is structured. My goal is that by the end you feel grounded and not overwhelmed, and that you have a sense for why this course is developed the way that it is. My name's Professor Bailey Benedict. You can call me any combination of doctor or professor and Bailey, Benedict, or B. My Ph.D. is in organizational communication, and I've been teaching since 2015. I joined CSUSB though in 2021. I'm really looking forward to teaching organizational behavior because it sits right at the intersection of theory and real life. A little bit more about me. I'm originally from Wisconsin. I love exploring new places, and in my non-academic life, I enjoy crafting and have just recently started a garden. I share that because I don't see learning as something that only happens in the classroom. It's part of how we make sense of the world more broadly. So I love learning about crafting, and I'm enjoying learning about the new hobby of gardening. Before we talk about the course itself, I want you to understand how I think about teaching and learning because that really shapes everything else. I care deeply about thoughtfully communicating, working, leading, and organizing, and I really think that learning starts with asking better questions and not just memorizing answers. I try to use research to understand really everything in the world, but in this class, human behavior. I think research for the sake of research is important, but it's more important, I think, is seeing what these theories and models really mean for us on the day-to-day. One of my main goals in this class is to help us develop our critical thinking skills, not just recognizing concepts, but really being able to question them and apply them and wrestle with them. I also think personal reflection is a great way of making ideas stick with us. And lastly, I'm actively practicing trying to become more comfortable with ambiguity and uncertainty, and I'm going to ask this semester that you try to do the same. Organizations are really messy and people are complicated, so OB doesn't always give us these really clean answers, and that's okay. I want us to sit with that discomfort because really discomfort is where we learn and grow. At the core of all this is curiosity. I'm just deeply curious about how people make sense of the world, especially at work, and I hope this class helps cultivate your curiosity too. So what does all that mean for this class? In Management 3020, we'll use organizational behavior to understand how people make sense of work and organizations. We'll examine how communication, leadership, and power shape everyday work life, often in ways we really don't consciously notice. Rather than just memorizing a bunch of models and definitions, we'll focus on asking better questions about behavior. We'll be using research to interpret real events, connecting ideas to our own observations of work, and puzzling through this complexity and ambiguity together. So what is organizational behavior exactly? At its core, OB is about how people behave at work. We'll look at behavior at multiple levels: individuals, groups and teams, and organizations as systems. We'll explore topics like motivation, leadership, culture, power, ethics, and always with the goal of better understanding three things: the workplaces you're a part of now or will be soon, the people you work with or will be working with and interacting soon, and really honestly, yourself. I don't know how many fingers that was. If you've ever wondered why people act the way they do, this class is for you. How is this course structured? The course is organized into 5 3-week units, moving from the individual level to groups and then organizations as a whole. Everything in the course lives on Canvas, and this is a flipped classroom. In a flipped classroom, that means you learn core concepts before class, and then we'll use our class time to apply, discuss, and practice them. That's also why attendance really matters. Being physically present is part of the learning design, not just an arbitrary rule I'm trying to enforce. What this looks like in practice is that outside of class, you'll prepare for our sessions by reading the textbook and completing reading checks, watching play pause it videos that have embedded questions. On Tuesday, class time is active. You'll be applying concepts, engaging with the material, asking questions, working in small groups. We'll also have some assessments and some group work days built into our class time. So you should plan to attend class regularly. Preparation and participation together account for almost 50% of the course. One of the major components of the course is the Do Good project, which is a semester-long group project. You'll work in groups of 5, which I'll assign with some feedback from you. It's a small service learning project designed to have a real-world impact. You'll move through the stages of the project, including a contract, a pitch, a proposal, and then actually doing the small service learning engagement. And I'll support you through the whole process. You'll also have 4 in-class work days, so you're not doing everything on your own outside of class. There'll be a lot more details to come later, so please try not to stress out about this yet. Let's talk about attendance. You can miss up to 3 classes and complete makeup activities with no questions asked, no emails required. Just complete the alternate assignment in Canvas and you'll receive 9.9 out of 10 points. The point 1 is to help me with bookkeeping. If you want to leave me a comment on the participation assignment, you can, but please don't email me about absences. We don't want to be missing more than 6 classes total. If you do, you'll fail the course, unfortunately. Exceptions are rare and are reserved for really serious circumstances, so please just do your very best to be present. Especially on assessment days, our attendance is important. Assessments are essentially the exams for this course, but they're in 3 different styles. The first is an exam that covers units 1 and 2. The second is a group co-assessment where you'll be working in your small group for unit 3, and then for unit 4, it's an individual reflection, which will be more of an essay exam. If you do need to miss an assessment day, please email me as soon as possible. You can schedule a makeup time through academic testing, and that makeup needs to be completed by the Friday at the end of the week. That means if you're traveling, you'll need to complete that assessment before you leave on your trip. You might have heard me mention, please don't email me about attendance. I want to be responsive via email, and I genuinely want to help, but I also teach about 150 students. Please don't email me about being absent, late, leaving early, or submitting assignments late. If you want, you can leave notes using the comment feature on Canvas. The only attendance-related emails I really want are for those missed assessments where we need to reschedule something. Many of the assignments include a place to add comments, so please feel free to use it. For some things, you may need to go to the Grades tab, which often opens a different view of the assignment. You can also find my responses in your Canvas inbox, so check there before following up. I really care about all the students in my class and want them to have a positive experience. Please don't hesitate to reach out and meet with me during office hours, especially if you need support. You can earn 20 points of extra credit by attending events on campus or visiting the writing or the speaking center. If you have accessibility or accommodation concerns, please reach out. And your mental health does matter. If something is getting in the way of your attendance and participation, I want you to feel comfortable reaching out to me, but I don't want to be getting emails that are just like, I'm not feeling well, I'm staying home today, or I have an appointment, so I need to skip class. I also don't need documentation of these illnesses. I don't want you to feel like you need to justify your absences to me. Hopefully your absences are few, and those times that you do miss class, you're able to complete the alternate assignment and get your points back. To wrap things up, what you can do to succeed in this course is do the preparatory work, attend and participate in class, ask questions, be engaged, and trust the process. The flipped classroom might feel new, it might feel a little scary, but I think you'll get a lot more out of it having the opportunity to actively engage during our in-class sessions as opposed to just listening to me lecture. So, welcome to Management 3020. I'm really glad you're here and I'm looking forward to learning with you this semester. Don't hesitate to reach out if you have any questions, comments, concerns, really anything.